Next topic in the ongoing chapter is S block elements. So S block elements, these are the elements which belongs to group 1 and group 2, and the various elements in this group are: in first group there is lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium, and next element is francium. Whereas in second group there are different elements like beryllium, magnesium, calcium, strontium, barium, and radium. So these elements belongs to, above the lithium there is hydrogen, but hydrogen has some mixed properties, so we don't study the hydrogen in the S block element heading. We study only these elements from lithium to francium and beryllium to radium. So these are the elements, and these are called, and this is the group 1 and this is group 2. So group 1 elements are called alkali metals, and they have general electronic configuration of NS1. So NS1 and noble gas NS1. So for lithium the electronic configuration is 1s2 2s1. Similarly for sodium it is 1s2 2s2 2p6 3s1. For potassium it is 1s2 2s2 2p6 3s2 3p6 4s1. So similarly the new principal quantum level is added when we go downward the group. So in this study we can see clearly that all the alkali metals, that is group 1 metals, have different principals held, but they have same number of valence electron, that is one valence electron is present in each shell or outer shell. So this is the alkali metals. Whereas group 2 elements are alkaline earth metal, and they consist of beryllium, magnesium, calcium, beryllium, magnesium, calcium, strontium, barium, radium, and further this is the, and their general electronic configuration is ns2, similar to this. Like for beryllium it is 1s2 2s2, 4 is the atomic number. For magnesium it is 1s2 2s2 2p6 3s2. Similarly 1s2 2s2 p6 3s2 3p6 4s2. So these are the general electronic configuration for the alkaline earth metal. Further their electronic configuration is we studied. Next are their various properties. So first of physical properties. So group 1 metals, various property of group 1 metal. First property is atomic or ionic radii. Alkali metals have the largest atomic or ionic radii in their respective periods. On moving down the group, atomic and ionic radii increases. That I have told you earlier when we were studying the periodic properties, that why does the downward the group atomic radii increases, and in their respective periods, like in lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, lithium has largest atomic radii. Similarly in case of sodium, magnesium, and further elements like aluminium, phosphorus, sulfur, chlorine, and next element sodium will have largest atomic radii. So in their respective period each alkali metal will have largest atomic radii, while we move downward in the same group of alkali metals the atomic radii increases. Further next is the ionization enthalpy. So alkali metal have the, so you first of all you can think the ionization enthalpy, what were the various factors that were affecting the ionization enthalpy. So there are different factors like size and else. So ionization enthalpy, alkali metal have the lowest ionization enthalpy in each period within the group. The ionization enthalpy of alkali metals decrease down the group. The atoms of the alkali metals are largest in their respective periods, and therefore the valence electrons are loosely held by the nucleus. By losing the valence electron they acquire stable noble gas configurations. So this accounts for their ease to lose the electron, and hence they have low ionization enthalpy. So on moving down the group, the atomic size increases and the magnitude of screening effect also increases, and consequently the ionization enthalpy decreases down the group. Further, the second ionization enthalpies of alkali metals are very high. When an electron is removed from the alkali metals, they form monovalent cation which have very stable electronic configurations. Therefore, it becomes very difficult to remove the second electron from the stable noble gas configuration. Hence, they have their second ionization enthalpy values are very high. So that I have also told you earlier in our last lecture, that there are successive ionization enthalpies like IE1, IE2, IE3. So IE1 for the alkali metals will be very low, but IE2 will be very high, because after losing one electron, the alkali metal will attain the stable noble gas configuration. Further, melting point and density, electropositive or metallic character, the alkali metal, so melting and boiling point and density you can read from the book. Further is the electropositive or metallic characters, that is special character for alkali metal, electropositive or metallic character. So electropositive like electronegative, yesterday we studied the electronegativity. Similarly, electropositive character, so all the alkali metals are strongly electropositive or metallic in character. Electropositive means they have strong tendency to lose the electron, so they are metallic in character. Electropositive character of elements is expressed in terms of tendency of its atom to lose the electrons. As alkali metals have low ionization enthalpy, their atoms readily lose their valence electron. These elements are therefore said to have strong electropositive or metallic character. Since the ionization enthalpy is decreased down the family, the electron releasing tendency or electropositive character is expected to increase down the family. Further, next is the oxidation states. All the alkali metals exhibit an oxidation state of +1 in their compounds. The alkali metals have only one electron in their valence shell. So oxidation state exhibited by alkali metals is +1, that is they loses one electron and changes into unipositive ion like Na positive and electron. So these are the oxidation state. Further, second ionization energy for alkali metals is very high, so they don't form the +2 oxidation state. Similarly, characteristic flame coloration. So this is also a unique characteristic for the alkali metal. Characteristic flame coloration means when these alkali metals are kept on the flame, they give a characteristic color. Like lithium gives crimson red, sodium gives golden yellow, potassium gives pale violet, rubidium gives red violet, and cesium bluish. So characteristic flame, all the alkali metals and their salt impart characteristic flame coloration. So it means they exhibit different flame colors. The alkali metals have very low ionization enthalpy. The energy from the flame of Bunsen burner is sufficient to excite the electron of alkali metals to higher energy levels. The excited state is quite unstable, and therefore when these excited electrons come back to their original energy level, they emit extra energy which fall in the visible region or the electromagnetic spectrum and thus appear colored. So this means when this is, suppose this is the atom of sodium, so there are 11 electron and this is the valence electron, and inside it 10 more electrons are present in different orbitals like 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s1. So this is the 3s1 electron. So 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, yes, 3s1 electron. So further there are more higher empty energy levels. So due to these alkali metals are highly electropositive, so they easily electron can be excited from the lower energy state to the higher energy state. So it absorbs some definite amount of energy. So this energy, when the flame is put away from this sodium metal or some other alkali metal, this high excited electron comes back to its original ground state by emitting the extra amount of energy in the form of visible light. So this is the basic cause of characteristic flame coloration. Further is the photoelectric effect. photoelectric effect. So what is photoelectric effect? The alkali metals readily emit electrons when radiation strike on their surface. This phenomenon of ejection of electron when electromagnetic radiation strikes on the surface of metal is called photoelectric effect. So in case of flame coloration, the electron is not lost, whereas in case of photoelectric electron, the photoelectric effect, electron is ejected from the metal when light of suitable frequency from the electromagnetic radiation falls on the metal. So because of low ionization enthalpies, the electron of alkali metal can be easily ejected from their surface. Among alkali metals, cesium has the lowest ionization enthalpy and hence it can show photoelectric effect to the maximum extent. Therefore, alkali metals, especially cesium, are used in photoelectric cells which are sensitive to blue light. Further, next are the nature of compounds. So generally these metals form the ionic compounds. Why? Because they easily loses their valence electron due to their low ionization energy and easily loses, and some other metal gains electron and ionic compound is formed. Next property is the lattice energy. So lattice energy is the amount of energy released when a lattice is formed from the atoms of the substance. So the alkali metal salts consist of cation and anions which are held up by the strong electrostatic force of attraction. Like sodium has strong electrostatic force of attraction with chlorine, where sodium exists as a cation and chlorine exists as a anion in chloride form. Therefore, the lattice energy of the alkali metal salts are very high. The lattice energy is defined as the amount of energy required to break. So it is the amount of energy required to break 1 mole of a crystal into its free ion. So earlier I told I said opposite to this, that is when a lattice is formed or crystal is formed from its constituent ions, 1 mole of crystal is formed. So here these cation and anion are formed, M positive and X negative. The lattice energy also depends upon the size of the ion and its charge. For the cation of same charge, the lattice energy of ionic solids having the same anion decreases with increase in the size of cation due to decrease in the force of attraction. So this means when you are comparing the lattice energy of lithium chloride, sodium chloride, potassium chloride, rubidium chloride and cesium chloride, so the lattice energy decreases downward, where chlorine is same, that is anion is same in all these compounds, and cation is different, that is lithium, sodium, potassium. Now you can see that downward size is also increasing. So for lithium, suppose the size of lithium is small, here chlorine is present, whereas in case of cesium the size is very much large. So due to this electrostatic force of attraction decreases between the cesium and chloride due to far away of the charges that I told you earlier. F is equal to Q1 Q2 over R square, where K, and when we remove the K there will be a sign of proportionality. So when distance increases, the force of attraction decreases. So force of attraction will be low, and due to which lattice energy decreases. So this is the basic reason behind decrease in the lattice energy downward the group when anion is same. Further, next are the chemical properties. Chemical properties of group 1 elements. Physical properties are those properties which can be seen physically, whereas chemical properties mean reaction and their reactants and products. So the alkali metal exhibit high chemical activity. Why? First reason is they have low ionization energy, that is they easily loses electron, and low heat of atomization. Low heat of atomization. So as the value of ionization enthalpy decreases down the group from lithium to cesium, therefore the reactivity of alkali metal increases from lithium to cesium. So it means that lithium to cesium ionization energy decreases So cesium is highly reactive. Why? Because it has lowest ionization energy and it very easily loses electron. It is so reactive that if you will put in the sunlight, it will lose its electron. So the alkali metal are highly reactive toward the more electronegative elements such as oxygen and halogen. Why? Because high electronegative elements pull the electron from these alkali metals toward themselves. So further is the action with air. Action with air. All the alkali metals get tarnished on exposure to air due to the formation of oxides at the surface. They burn vigorously in air or oxygen, forming three types of oxides. So normal oxide, that is O2 negative, peroxide O2 2 negative. You can derive its formulas. This is superoxide. So normal oxide, when like calcium oxide, if you will split calcium oxide, it will be split into calcium 2 positive plus O2 negative, whereas peroxide like hydrogen peroxide, here you can see 2 protons plus O2 2 negative, and superoxide like potassium superoxide, so it is K positive O2 negative, so they are fully balanced. So you can remember their names from these formulas. Like if you will ask to write about the oxide means calcium oxide, and here calcium exists and other. So when the metals are burned in free supply of air, the main products depends upon the metal. Lithium forms only the oxide, that is normal oxide. Lithium forms lithium oxide. Further sodium forms peroxide, that is Na2O2, while potassium, rubidium and cesium forms superoxide. Potassium KO2, rubidium and cesium, they forms the superoxide. So different products are formed by the different alkali metals. So you can be asked, why does lithium forms normal oxide and sodium forms peroxide and other forms superoxide? What is the reason behind it? You can be asked in the exam. Why? The reason is why all the metals doesn't form superoxide or peroxide, or why they have different products. So formation and stability of these oxides can be explained on the basis of size of the cation and the anion. It is known that smaller cation can stabilize smaller anion. So if the size should be compatible for the stability of a compound, that they should have the constituent of which compound have similar sizes, they will be more stable. So the smaller cation like lithium is smallest among all the alkali metals. So smaller cation can stabilize smaller anion and larger cation can stabilize larger anion. So this is the basis of lattice energy effect. So the lithium ion is very small ion and therefore has strong positive field around it, therefore can stabilize only a small anion like O2 O2 negative, normal oxide. So O2 negative is smaller as compared to these O2 2 negative and O2 negative. You can see here is only one oxygen atom. In peroxide there are two oxygen atom, and superoxide there are again two oxygen atom. So in other words, because of small size of lithium ion, the spreading of negative charge toward the another oxygen atom is prevented, and therefore it cannot attach to another oxygen atom. Similarly, consequently, higher oxides are not formed. Sodium ion is large and it can stabilize large anion. The positive field around sodium ion is weaker and does not prevent the conversion of oxide ion into a peroxide ion, but it is strong enough to prevent the further oxidation of superoxide ion. On the other hand, because of large size of this potassium, rubidium and cesium, the positive field is very weak and allows the superoxide ion to be formed. So this depends upon the size of the ions. So next is the action with the hydrogen, that we will take next time.